appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much for all your support and help. It's a tremendous honor to be able to go back to the Capitol for 2 more sessions. I work for you, and I never forget that. So you tell me what you want done, and I'll do my best. And where we disagree, I think we can have a good dialogue about it and understand and learn from one another. And that is such an important part of the process, that we listen and we learn and we work together. Because frankly, we're all in this together. You know, we have shared humanity. We're all on this planet. We love our state and our country, and we want to do the best that we can to make it a better place. And David Robinson, on cue. King William is also here now. I just wanted to state that up front, because the next couple of months will be very difficult months for me personally as your representative, as well as for the other members of the legislature, when we will be faced with a difficult task of writing a new 2-year spending plan, drafting a new budget, and amending the last 6 months of the current budget. And when I say difficult, I mean it's the job we're sent to do, so we do it. But very often you're presented 2 good choices, or at least choices about 2 good things, and you've got to decide which one is going to see less money or be cut, and that's not altogether an easy task. So I don't take it lightly. And hey, good to see you. Good to see you. And just want you to know that we're going to be working hard to try to get this thing right for Virginia for the next 2 years. And I'm going to go into more detail about that process and about what we see ahead of us in terms of the budget, in terms of policies that I'm particularly interested in putting in legislation on. And then I want to get some feedback from you, get some questions, or if you have good suggestions for legislation in particular, or things you don't want to do. I know we have a gentleman here with a list already, so if you have some thoughts, please jot them down, and I want to make sure we collect those before we adjourn this evening. So I'm hopeful we can do all of that in an hour, if possible. I know attention spans last about as long as you're comfortable, so we want to be mindful of that. Last night we took a big step in terms of being an inclusive district. As you know, there's 7 counties represented. I probably have driven about 80,000 miles in the last 2 years, going from Spotsylvania and Caroline, where Bobby Popowitz is, up in Caroline, down to King William and New Kent, and Eastern Henrico, and I'm not complaining about that. But what we have found is that when we take town halls on the road and do gatherings in, say, Caroline or King William and New Kent, we get a good turnout of loyal folks, people who are interested in state government and their local government, but maybe 15 or 20 people, and we want to continue to do that. But last night I decided we should try to be more inclusive and really unite the district in one setting, if possible. And we found this program. Actually, Julie found it and had it set up. It's called Teletown Hall. I'm not sure how many people were able to participate last night. I think we have one gentleman here from the Biotech Park. It's good to see you. And did anyone else participate last night? Anyone? No one was able to participate. Well, a lot of people did. And I've got the statistics. It's rather remarkable. When we were discussing what universe we should call, and we called about 23,000 households last night at 7 o'clock. We included not just Republicans, but independents and lean Democrats, people who vote in Democratic primaries. As a representative, I need to know what everybody's saying, not just the people who agree with us 90% of the time. And so it was very helpful to me and very informative. And what you might be surprised at is we share a lot in common. In fact, some of the feedback that we received from the middle and left, if I can use those terms, was that they agreed with me in part, and they disagreed with me, and they offered to help and wanted to be more involved. And so I take that as very encouraging. I think it's a sign that people recognize the economy, they recognize the condition that the state and the federal government are in. They're concerned about the future and the direction of the federal government in particular, and they want to get involved. That's all sides of the aisle and across the political spectrum. We called these 23,000 households. We obviously left several messages on the answer machine, 7,000 in fact, which would let people know that they could call in later if they got the message when they got home. They could call in and participate in what is essentially a large conference call. And we had, let me see, let me get these figures straight. 3,500 accepted the call, which is a huge amount. Again, 7,000 on the answer machine, only a couple thousand that opted out of the call, but we ended up dialing 19,000. That we had asked for 23 and actually made it through. Some were bad numbers, some were no longer numbers. So we actually called 19,000 households in our district, and the district is designed to be about 74,000 people. So you can kind of extrapolate that down. If there are 2 to 3 people per household, you're getting a pretty large swath of the district. It was, I thought, a very interactive hour and 20 minutes. I was able to present some information, some that I'll share tonight. Was able to ask some questions of the people on the call, and then they were able to ask me questions. And it was kind of like hosting a radio show. You know, I was able to see John from New Kent, and then take the call and say, John from New Kent, you know, please go ahead with your call. And you know, we had some diversity in terms of questions and interests, from a mother of a person who has a son who's a convicted felon, who is concerned about his future and how do we get him on the right track. And so we explained to them about how to apply to the governor for restoration of voting rights, for example. We had several folks interested in biomass, energy development that's non-traditional or the renewable kind. We had my new friend here talking about innovation and how we can better invest in new technologies and new areas of the economy, in particular biotechnology, how to get ahead of the curve and be more innovative. So we had folks across the spectrum, people who were interested in the 10th Amendment and supporting the 10th Amendment in this era of federal-state relations and where do those lines exist. So I thought it was very rich in terms of the issues that people were concerned about, and then also that experience of just being together.